Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes, or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there. Look up in the sky. What is that? It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a electrified mullet.
That's right.
That's right, kids. Welcome back to another week of Electric Mullet, the Superman podcast, where we go mostly in order with your Superman comics post-crisis.
Yeah, mostly.
Mostly, except for this month. Yeah.
Yeah, we're hopping around a little bit this month, but that's okay.
That's all right. Yes, because... Well, I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is Superman #1 pal himself, Mr. Tyler Patrick.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And
I'm happy to be here.
And making his triumphant return, another creature you see swooping through the air, Justin the Owl.
Yeah, hello.
The world of large.
To be back.
Jeez.
I just told everyone that last week you were just suffering from gamma radiation poisoning.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was feeling a little green around the gills.
He didn't take his own advice, and he had too much gamma. So
yeah, I needed my Flintstone vitamins. Yeah,
I'm trying to get these to pull up on my computer because my daughter decided to drain the battery of my iPad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, see, my Fire tablet was acting up, so on Prime Day I found a good deal on a last generation iPad, so I got a new iPad. Thank you very much.
Ooh, that looks very Blue Beetle-y.
Well, I got it's a black and blue cover. Well, you say Blue Beetle, I say Nightwing. You know.
Oh well,
potato.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
All right. Well, and again, the Marvel and DC apps work better. So okay.
That's the main reason. I'm tell you guys to be honest. Like, my iPad was starting to time out, like it was getting old, but the biggest reason was the comics apps weren't working anymore.
Yeah.
Like, when they made an update to DC, couldn't get it to work anymore. That's when I was like, yep, time to change.
Yeah. They've made a few updates to the Marvel one, too, haven't they? Yeah.
Because again, it's like it's the last generation, and it's like on this iPad, and again, it's like I didn't need like the one with the biggest memory. Again, I'm just mostly reading comics.
Right.
Maybe read some synopses off these. But speaking of synopses, we have none this tonight, so we'll just have to walk through these.
Okay.
That sucks. Because I wanted to hear you synopsisize. Is that a word? Synopsisize? These comics.
And then Lana Lang cried some more.
I got an interesting point as we get into this that I want to bring up, but I'll wait till we kind of get there in the story.
All right. Well, I mean, I saw a short synopsis. Hold on. Let me try this because I know there wasn't a synopsis for the second one. There was like a quick 2 or 3 sentences for the first one, so maybe I'll do that. But all right. The World of Smallville. Issue 1 was April 1988. I think the team is consistent through all 4. Of course, writer John Byrne, penciler Kurt Schaffenberger, inker Alfredo Alcala, colorist Petra Scotis, letterer Carrie Spiegel, and editor Mike Carlin. All right, the quick synopsis of this is Jonathan and Martha tell Clark about their past. Jonathan came home from the war, and Martha discovered Martha was married to her first husband, Dan Fordman, Smallville's most important businessman. So that's the synopsis I have.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get into the details of this, but did anyone else find it funny where, I get that Clark had never heard this story before, but he was like, it was scandalous, oh, you were married before, Paul, oh my God, you know, it's not like she cheated on her, it's like, no.
I think it's just that, like he says in the second book, about kind of the looking at your parents.
Yeah.
More, and then he was kind of just shattered at the idea, the image that he had of his parents.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but still, did it rock him so much that he had to take off into space and ponder it from the moon?
If you could go into space with no air from the moon, wouldn't you?
Well, I suppose, but over that, I don't know.
I mean, he was such a shock. He's like, yeah, I guess I better get back because I'm running out of air. But
Right. I have questions about that too. The air limitation, is that still a thing?
I think so. I think it's like again to frame it in another show you do. I think it's like Hulk level. It's like he can hold the air longer. Because what was the limit for a while? I think it was like an hour or so, or
yeah,
something.
It
like
got
that.
longer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It depends. It depends what era and who's writing it. And yeah,
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically like the Hulk thing where it's like just hold his breath for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. I guess I can open this story in the app. So yeah. So what do you guys think?
My first critique is, have they never sat down and decided, okay, Jonathan Kent's father's name is Lang?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it seems like depending on the book, the story, the TV show, Jonathan's father's name changes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was a little confused at first who Sal was.
Oh, yeah. Because doesn't he call her Aunt Sal at first? But then it turns out to be his brother's wife. His dead brother's wife. Yeah.
The brother died in the war, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's his brother's widow, and it's his dad living there.
Yeah.
And because he makes the reference to Clark, like, I wish you would have known my pa. You would have liked him. But then I'm like, have they never just established in comics, like, what Jonathan Kent's dad's name was? I feel like it's different all the time.
Probably because it's been mentioned so rarely that, people forget. It's just like, oh, still.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a problem. Like, we need to fix this.
Okay, here it is. He's telling Clark your late Aunt Sarah, your Aunt Sarah. So maybe that's why I was confused. But yeah,
yeah, it was. Mm-hmm. And then so Jonathan's mom's already dead.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was confused. I'm not gonna lie, because Sarah is his brother's wife. Wouldn't it be his sister-in-law, not his aunt? Or is it or is it?
Yeah, it's weird because he's telling Clark it's his aunt, but I swear there was at some point he called her aunt. He said something about aunt but
okay, so it's Clark's aunt. Yeah, it got confused.
Yeah, and again, I guess this is like the first time they really did. They ever play with the Kent family history before this? Because I'm like Golden Age, Silver Age. I mean, they were dead by the time he becomes Superman. So it's
I'm trying to remember
they raised him. He died.
When was that mini series where it was called The Kents? Was a Western?
That was in the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never read that one.
I almost thought that was an Elseworlds thing the first time I saw it.
It might have been. It's one of those that I saw so long ago, and I was just like, nah. But I'd read it now.
Eventually we'll get to it in the schedule.
Oh, I was thinking when we do big anniversary episodes, unless we do stuff like that, off the beaten track, maybe. But
yeah.
But I was gonna say, if they played with the Kent family anywhere, maybe in the Silver Age, maybe it was in the Superboy book, maybe because that's the only place that you rarely saw them in this, consistently in the Silver Age.
I mean that would be, and I got a lot of Superboy reading to do next year.
I was going to say, there's your homework, Tyler.
So much of it. There's so much of it to read. It's crazy. Yeah.
Let's look at the squares on this screen. Who can I give a big Superman history assignment to? Let me see.
What you got? What you got, Justin?
I am actually, when it comes to Silver Age Superboy, I don't know a whole lot. Yeah.
I started reading Golden Age just straight through and reviewing that, and I might go back to that on the podcast and just start talking about Golden Age more.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
You know what? All right, sorry. Okay. Colleges give out weird degrees all the time and stuff. For some school out there, I want you to give Tyler Patrick a PhD in Superman. Okay.
Yes.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's stuff that you know that stuff where someone says something and you're like, oh, I knew that, but I forgot it? That's where my brain's at right now.
Yeah.
Because now I have real stuff I have to remember.
But how awesome would that be, especially for you, if you say, "Oh yes, I'm Professor Tyler Patrick," and they're like, "What are you Professor of?" Superman.
Kryptonian heritage.
Superman lore. Well, for these characters that have been around for almost 100 years, there should be an award for something like that if you know that much.
I mean, you ever watch a documentary? They have somebody on there like pop culture historian. You're like, wait, how do you?
Yes, I want that.
Yes, pop culture historian. I love it.
Like I was watching. I was watching like a PBS thing about like just folklore monsters and stuff like the history of different ones and stuff. Me and Solomon have kind of fell down this rabbit hole, and it was like folklorist PhD in folklore on werewolves, and I'm like, how do you get that job? Like, what's that?
Yeah, that sounds like a good gig. Yeah, I want to get in on that.
Man, yeah, I want pop culture or just like Marvel DC expert. Yeah. I guess we could do it on our screen here, but again, I want an official.
A certificate they're going to put on the wall. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and that Superman one, they'll send it to Tyler. Yes, can you print that in Kryptonian, please?
Yes,
I'll translate. It's cool.
Oh, hello, Russell. Justin's co-host on Gamma Charge. All right, here we go. I need more Ultra Humanite in my comics.
Ultra Humanite. When are we going to reach him in the Superman run here? It's coming up soon, isn't he?
I don't know. In this era, we get Ultra Humanite? I think we get Titano in an annual, but Ultra Humanite, I'm not sure.
Nice. A Dracula historian yesterday.
Whoa.
Yes. That sounds amazing.
So, Ultra Humanite. So, enough of your monkey business, Russell. I just interviewed a Dracula historian yesterday. Dream job. Hopefully that interview didn't suck.
It bite.
Boom!
Look for that on Taste the Pod of Dracula.
Boy, he's maturing since he just recently got married, hasn't he, Justin? I had no O-ring comments or nothing.
Yeah, we missed the O-ring.
You may know Russell from his hits such as
Where's the Joker Nuggets?
And
Wild like an animal.
Russell's greatest hits.
No, I invented that, you dick.
I do like, okay, back to our comic here.
Yes.
I do like that the Fordmans, so when they show up in the TV show Smallville, which is 22 years ago today.
Wow.
Wow.
When, it's always weird, like when like how many different Superman shows have we heard people reference like Ben Hubbard or the Hubbards just because it was referenced in Superman the movie, and stuff like that. So having, seeing that the Fordmans was actually pulled from comics in Smallville was cool.
Well, that's why that's why I liked about My Adventures with Superman, because like just the little Easter eggs in there that you could tell like they actually like I don't know if they were fans of the comics or just did their homework, but like there's like little Easter eggs in that, like especially the News Kid Legion and stuff.
Yes.
Oh, boo.
Oh.
Can you my favorite line? Can you please pass the yams, please?
Whoa.
That's my favorite line from Jimmy. He's like, "Yeah, I'm like super rich. Can you pass the yams, please?"
Oh my! But you know what? It might have been obvious to some people, but the whole Dan Fordman thing, I kind of got sideswiped by that, because at first I thought it was going to be, be the typical "you stay away from my wife, Johnny Kent," but no, it wasn't. It was like, "No, please take my wife."
Yeah,
you can have my wife over my dead body.
And I'm about to be dead, so here you go.
When Dan Foreman came walking in looking like Harry Osborn.
Yes! But no.
And John Kent was like, "My God, he looks ghastly."
Can I just ask, like, was this story even needed? Like, what are we gaining from this story?
Didn't you say that last week about World of Krypton?
It was cool to get a little bit of backstory for the Kents.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the backstory from the kids, but this just feels awkward. Like
this feels like this could have been done in like the form of a couple of backup stories in the Back of Action comics or something like that. Yeah. Instead of a full issue, because this is dry as toast. These two, actually, all four of these issues. I might as well just say it. All four of them are dry as toast.
I mean, like I said before we jumped on, I think it's just Burns saying, "Oh, I created this whole new backstory for Superman. Look at all the thought I've put into this." And and again, it's just like last week when Tyler and I did World of Krypton. It seems like 1 and 2 is kind of its own thing, and then 3 and 4 is something else,
Yeah, it's two halves of two.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it jumps ahead, just like last week's did, Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like Burns has like some kind of formula for these.
Yeah, it's weird. I wonder, because I haven't read the next one.
Oh,
the
yeah.
World of Metropolis, so I wonder if that's the same formula.
I bet it is.
I don't know. I've only read one issue of that one so far. It was issue 3 I picked up like in a back issue. If it is, it might be more like self-contained, like if you like following different characters, because like issue 3 it was like a story of Clark, like right where he first arrives in Metropolis before he becomes Superman, and I think I saw Jimmy Olsen on the cover of 4, so those ones may be more self-contained each issue. So
yeah.
Can I just say like how annoying it is to look at these comics? Yeah, we're still on issue 1, right?
Yes.
We're on issue 2.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, we could go to issue 2 if you.
We can skip to issue 2. Yeah.
I mean, my thing is like you said, like I felt they were dry, and I think a shorter backup type version, because I'm going in like World of Smallville. Like, what is this town? What is this history? Like,
yeah, I was expecting to see more about the town itself and like the people in it.
All we got is that damn statue of Ezra Small.
we had talked about when we did the Man of Steel miniseries, when we kicked off this, that we talked about these 3, book series that were, that kind of touched Superman and Clark in the different eras, and we're like, maybe that'll fill in the gaps of some of this time jumping. No, it didn't. No.
It didn't at all.
But I mean, and again, I know this. Again, I already said this, but it's like I know Clark is kind of in shock, but I mean, he stands up from the table in that last panel. He's like, "What?"
I mean, I just kind of look at that kid who, has grown up his whole life. He's had to accept so many. Like he's had to accept different things. Like I'm adopted. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm an alien. Okay. But he always looked at his parents as like his rock, his formation. Like he knows them, he knows everything. And then like the idea that his mom was married before, it was just kind of like, what?
Yeah, and they haven't changed at all practically in all of the years that he's known them. Like they've stayed the same.
I would buy that argument for any human being, but I mean, this is a guy who punches Darkseid in the face.
But isn't that like where was it? We talked about last week where, the greatest gift his father gave him was his humanity.
Yes.
So in a sense, like he's overcompensating for something that, this is just me headcaning it, but like the idea that there's something off with Ma and Pa.
Oh.
It has like shifted him. Like he's like, I can fight Darkseid. I can go against all this, but my mom being married before my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it'd be a shock, but it's not even like it's not like anybody cheated on anybody or something. No, it's like your father was at war. This woman becomes your mother. Was married first, and
it's not like he has like a half brother like him. Martha and Fordman never had kids and all that stuff.
No, he just has a son on Apocalypse.
Yeah. I love that idea.
Yeah. I'm still going to work on that.
I'm with, like, it is weird. That's all I'm going to say. Like, it's just.
That's what you should do on Lost Library of Legends sometimes, Justin. Be like, pick a, what they could have done with these plot threads if they ever picked them up with, if they drop something and just didn't. Like if they,
or some of these series that are canceled abruptly,
exactly.
And all the stuff left hanging at the end. Yeah, that'd be cool. Do a bonus episode or something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting seeing the back, all these flashbacks miniseries. But it's like if I was buying these back in the day, I don't know if I'd be like,
I'd be mad.
I mean,
because I came here for a Superman book, hoping maybe to get something about Clark in Smallville, like a story about his experiences, or
as a kid. Or like I said, something about the story and the people in it besides the Kents and besides Lana Lang.
Yeah,
there's more other people. There's other people besides them in Smallville.
Can we jump to issue 2 real quick?
Yes, let's get to issue 2.
Yeah. Where it took me a minute to realize it was Lana because she's blonde. Because for some reason at this era from the 80s and the 90s, they decided to change up hair color, and that's one of my big pet peeves.
Yeah.
Because in comics, it's one of those things that helps you identify characters.
Right.
Because you're only, especially older comics, before the digital coloring and everything like that. So, somehow Lois eventually becomes a redhead at this time, and Lana's here as a blonde. And the only thing I can think of is because I guess...
Well, her hair even goes through like a radical shift from like the flashbacks to like, when you see her in the present day.
Yeah.
So like, wasn't Stacy Heidick was more of a strawberry blonde. So she had reddish in her hair. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was just thinking like you had the Superboy TV series, but even then, yeah, it's just, I'm like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, that's very inconsistent. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And okay. And all right, before you get to your point to issue 2, so I mean, for anyone who hasn't read this yet, spoilers, yes, Dan Fordman, Martha's first husband, is dying of cancer, so that's why he asked Jonathan to take her off his hands. And again, I mean, you see all in issue 1, they set it up, like he's been pining for her since like day 1, so it's like, I don't know what the big debate is in his mind. Is it, is it just, she was married to another guy? It's like, so what? You're going to get the girl of your dreams. I mean,
I mean, he just had issues with it. Like,
yeah,
we won't go into it because this is a family show.
Maybe it's all the PTSD. I don't know.
Oh, well, it could have something to do with it. He was gone for a whole year. He was MIA for an entire year.
Yeah, he was a prisoner of war. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. And Fordman, I love the fact that Fordman's still puffing away on the cigars, even though he's dying from lung cancer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, at that point, what are you going to do? Like,
yeah.
You're going out.
Yeah, I guess.
Because he said, I mean, the doctors say, they're still taking time off his life, but he's like, it's incurable. There's no cure, so why not enjoy myself?
Hell with it. Yeah. All right. Yeah, but the whole dinner when the sister comes in and is on her mess about, Martha's just trying to take all of your money. That's all she's ever wanted, and.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was so heavy-handed.
She knew you were dying when you married.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot in the first issue I did like the little bit of the waitress like, "Oh, Clark, you used to be one of the most handsome boys at Smallville. With those glasses, I can't tell it's you.
You should get contact lenses." Yeah.
That's like those movies where it's like, we're gonna pretty up the ugly girl. Meanwhile, the ugly girl is just she's wearing glasses and has her hair up here. She lets the hair down, takes off the glasses. Oh, now she's hot.
Yeah. She's just wearing glasses, no makeup, in a ponytail with clothes that are a little too baggy, that are more boyish
and all buttoned up. Yeah.
Now we're gonna put her in a tight fitting clothes and makeup.
Seen on another teen movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, see that one.
Exactly.
Janie's got a gun. What? Sing her a song with her name in it. Janie's got a gun. What?
Starring Alex Danvers herself, Supergirl's sister from the TV show. Yes.
I thought you were talking about the girl from Power Rangers who plays the foreign exchange student.
What?
People I don't know what they're talking about.
You said foreign exchange student. I still just think of Shannon Elizabeth from American Pie.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that dinner with the sister, screaming. I love Dan Fordman just drops dead right there in the middle of it. Yeah. She just wants you for your money.
Promise me you'll. Yeah.
But yeah, just with the circles around his eyes, he does look like a deranged Osborn there.
He does, totally. Yeah, we should lay off the Havanas.
Yeah, I mean, if he had cornrowed up that hair, you're right, Tyler. He will look like an Osborn. Yeah,
they were like, just draw Norman Osborn and then take out the cornrows.
Yeah. We'll put him in a blue suit. We'll put him in a blue suit instead of a green suit. Nobody will know.
Yep, that's how they do it, man. That's how they do it.
Yeah, and then at the will reading, it's decided that Fordman left all the money to the sister and all that stuff, but left a bunch of land to Martha. So that's how they're able to get the land.
Because Martha, I guess Martha told him she didn't want the money, but he must have surprised her just with a couple acres of land, which again, I guess would become the Ken farm. Yeah,
mm-hmm. And I liked that. I thought that was cool.
That was interesting because it also a little frustrating, just because of the whole history,
because it wasn't his father's or anything. Yeah,
it was like the Kents passed it down.
Yeah,
from father. It was always one of the ongoing jokes, like in Smallville and other stuff, how they're always paying on the farm.
Yeah.
But it's been in the family for like generations.
Oh.
I'm always like, how do they keep financing this farm?
Like, right.
You know, like we had to sell the back 40. Like that's back 40 means back 40 acres.
Yeah.
So like obviously the farm is larger than 40 acres.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so
it says 10 acres in this. Yeah.
It's just like,
I was just waiting for it to be like, oh yeah, he bought and gave you the land that's like next to, you know, his father's farm or something. You know, that's that. I was waiting for that. Yeah.
And that's how they got the back 40.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, it was cool, you know, like.
But she
yeah, it was
she
always like
she didn't want the Fordman department store.
That's you know, that's the show that we're waiting on is, you know, the Kents, where it's a story of young Jonathan wanting to get out of Smallville, and his brother dying, and then him having to come back and take over the family farm, and then fight for the love of his life, Martha, only to discover they can't have children.
Okay.
And then the finale of that is like the opening scene of Smallville. It's like the finale of the Kents is Clark's rocket ship coming down.
So you want the Superman version of Pennyworth, okay, or Gotham, okay?
Yeah, and I just want to make it better, okay, than what Pennyworth gave us. That show was fun at times, and sometimes it was extremely off the rails. And then they tried to pull it back, and then they just. I mean, season 3 was good.
I didn't finish it. I didn't see season 3. I gotta watch it because I think it's all on Max.
I did because I'm a completionist.
Yeah. Well, I think it's all on Max now. So somewhere. So I gotta watch it. Yeah, because the first season was on Epic. So I was like, "What's that?"
Yeah, me and Phil, we did it. But no, the third season, except for a couple little subplots, the third season was really good. But I was like, "You're making this too wide of a show." Like, I hate prequels that try to go too big.
Yeah.
Like, keep your focus a little bit more narrow.
Well, even like Gotham that brought us together, Tyler. I mean, it's like it was supposed to just be like the Jim Gordon story, but I mean, the villains, like especially the Penguin, stole the show.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Because after a while, everyone's like, I don't want police detectives in Gotham.
And of course, it's like, oh, we have to have Kid Batman in this, you know.
Yeah, because Bruce Wayne fought crime alongside Jim Gordon for years, then comes back and no way he's Batman. No way this guy just shows back up in Gotham.
Yeah.
And there's no way.
Now, don't be bad-mouthing Batman.
Batman, my favorite character.
I mean, we've already got Smallville.
I got your back, Ray.
John. Now let me get the Kent's prequel series, and then I'll do that. You guys remember when they announced that Metropolis series that never happened?
Yeah.
It's going to be a DC.
Oh, yeah.
That everyone theorized was going to be kind of a Daily Planet based. Maybe even a Lex Luthor origin. Yeah, I'm gonna do I'm gonna be like how they do Batman. We're gonna do shows all around the character, without actually doing the character.
I mean, and you used to mention Krypton. Like the show was all right, but I was like, are we going back a little too far? I mean, we're on his, Clark's grandfather. I'm like, shouldn't we just like, shouldn't we do the Jor-El story?
I mean, it kind of was a Jor-El story.
Yeah.
But no, Krypton was cool. Like. My issue, I really like season 2.
But of course, they have to bring in like Doomsday and stuff, and it's like, really?
Oh yeah.
But they did it well enough that I was cool with it. But my thing with Krypton is I wish they would have done like they did with all the Battlestar Galactica, like how they would do like a season or two of Battlestar and then do like a movie.
Yeah.
I was hoping they would do a movie to wrap up what would have been season 3. But the biggest issue with Krypton is they changed the show in the first season. It was supposed to be a direct Man of Steel prequel. And then they announced it at the same time they announced Gotham. But by the time Krypton aired, Gotham was over. So if you look back at some of the early promo images and stuff, and the original trailer, and then they pushed it back like 6 months or more from when they it had more of like the Man of Steel style S's and stuff. But then they decided to kind of blend it more, and they added in some other subplots and they changed it. And that's why the first season I feel is kind of like this, but the second season was pretty solid.
Well, that's their problem. They can never get the synergy going and have everything going at the same time. Because I remember, they announced that Flash movie, around the same time the Flash TV show started, and then nine seasons later, then they finally got that movie on.
Basically, it was like the day after the Flash dropped. They announced Ezra Miller was going to be the Flash in the Justice League, and then it was going to have his own solo movie.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Although I guess that movie, like Lil says, that was in developmental hell even before that. So
Oh yeah.
It's just it was the next phase of development.
Well, she said, I mean that originally that Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie was supposed to be a Ryan Reynolds Flash movie originally.
It was supposed to actually start the connected universe, and it was supposed to have Henry Cavill appear in it, but they vetoed that because they didn't want to do that.
Right. They wanted it. They didn't want it to be like a Marvel where everything was connected like that.
Then they saw the billions. Then they saw the billions rolling in. They're like, "Oh, you connect." Oh,
maybe we should do that.
Because they were like, "No, we don't." Because it was Christopher Nolan, and then it was like, "We don't want our Superman to appear in something else."
Right.
So they vetoed Man of Steel, like because he was supposed to. The ring was supposed to fly past Clark, but read him as Kryptonian, and then keep going. Was supposed to be the cameo of Clark Kent in it.
Oh,
and they were like, "No,
cool.
we don't want our upcoming Superman idea." But. Or, yeah. I've often said that if Green Lantern, the film, had come out in 2007, it would have been a huge hit. Because 2008's right when, you had Iron Man and the Dark Knight and everything changed. Yeah. If it would have came out in 07, it would have been a hit.
Hell, if it would have come out in 1997, it would have been the best movie of the year then.
That's true.
I mean, yeah.
Blockbuster. There
you go. That's what you should do, Phil. We should do a whole series of podcasts where you watch the comic book films of 97 and then figure out which one.
I did a full year superhero movie bracket, the worst superhero movie brackets. You're not talking about your PTSD. I ain't going back.
He's never doing it again.
Talk about PTSD and what's up with issue 3 of this?
Oh Lord!
Can someone please explain this to me? Because I'm looking at this like for real. Like,
yeah, let's skip ahead to issue 3 because basically we wrapped up the whole Kent story.
Yeah. Fordman dies. Clark Jonathan.
Fordman dies. Martha marries Jonathan, and Clark can't handle it, and they get land. Over. Next.
Well, yeah, and again, at the end they show is that the end of 2? Yeah, where they're like, oh yeah, and then your ship showed up right at the beginning of a big blizzard, so it's like no one questioned. We couldn't get to town for 5 months.
5 months.
Look, I'm gonna let it slide. Because I've seen historical pictures and stuff of where I live, from years past, where there is some serious snow and stuff, and people were bundled in. They live out on a farm. Oh, right. I'm gonna roll with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's kind of neat and cleaner than being oh, we had to adopt him, and trying to fake the paperwork and stuff.
Yeah.
Or the taking to the orphanage and then going back and picking him up kind of thing. I think just the fake pregnancy thing, it works.
All right, so but the thing,
except when he grows up and looks nothing.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Does that strain credibility? Where it's like, oh yeah, this is our natural, this is our biological son. Meanwhile, he looks like neither of them.
Right.
And then they start rumors start floating.
I was gonna say, they probably think Martha had an affair or something.
Yeah, the milkman did it. I love the panel too, where they're both strolling down the sidewalk, beaming with pride, with little Clark in the stroller. It's adorable.
It is adorable.
Look at that.
So yes,
it is adorable.
But yeah, issue 3 starts with a bank robbery.
Yeah, the only action that we get for the whole thing. Yeah,
and then it's about other people, and things.
Oh yeah, we get Lana's origin, yes, because
Lana needed a secret origin because nothing in Smallville can be normal.
Well, again, I guess this was right after. I mean, we're gonna get the Millennium here, with the Manhunters. So
now, had Millennium just happened, or was it about to happen?
I think it had just happened because it's I think I think that was a shocking reveal for a lot of the books during there was Manhunter agents in everyone's book because it's weird here. It's they control Lana and the kids of Smallville, but meanwhile it's I think if you go to Batman, they just substitute Gordon with a robot Gordon. So it makes no sense. It's sometimes they actually use real humans, sometimes they just throw robots in there or something.
Where was the real Jim?
Oh, I can't remember. I think I don't know if the Manhunters had him or something. It's been
that's a mess.
Oh, and then the worst was speaking of real humans, Wally West's father was an agent of the Manhunters.
Oh no!
So what you're saying was the Manhunters were kind of a secret invasion?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah. See, I don't like this whole concept of the Manhunters doing all this torture to Lana Lang, like killing her parents.
Oh, I know.
Making it look like an accident, and then like going through all this machinations where Lana was walking out in the middle of blizzards to make little reports to this dude. Like, I'm not into this.
So I guess it's like, they capture them when, they're driving home with Lana. Lana's just been born. It's like, I guess they tried to put those chips right in her parents' brains and it killed them. So then I guess at that point they were like, oh, I guess we just got to put it in the spine or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it was just too much.
And again, I don't know if these are even the real Manhunters, because not once do I see them say no man escapes the Manhunters. So
that's true.
Yeah. I don't know. Once again, this is supposed to be about Smallville, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because Manhunters are from the Guardians and stuff, and I guess they were watching Jor-El and saw him shoot his son to Earth, so like, oh, we better keep an eye on that Kryptonian. So
I just know that if I was going to the comic store and I bought this, I'd be peeved.
Yeah, there's also no action in this other than the brief bank robbery situation.
I mean, I guess maybe I wonder if they were just trying to like. They're like, oh, Millennium's going to be is a big thing, so maybe people buy this to fill in the blanks and stuff. Because again, I guess like Lana was like wandering for a while, and it's just like, oh, why is Lana acting so weird and stuff?
Yeah, and we'll get to that in the next issue, which I have huge problems with. Huge problems with that.
But so basically, the Manhunters make her like their prime sleeper agent, can call her in every so often just to report on Clark.
Mm-hmm. And her aunt has adopted her after her parents passed away. Her aunt's basically her guardian.
Yes.
And she's really close with Clark. Like, they grew up together, and they were best friends. They were talking about getting married and all this stuff. Yeah.
And then he just leaves her.
He just leaves, yeah. So, and then she takes off to Metropolis at the end of this issue to find Clark.
So I wonder if that's intentional, like that parallel where it's like, everyone thought Jonathan and Martha were going to get married, and they did, but then and everyone thought Clark and Lana were going to get married, but they didn't.
They didn't, right? Yeah.
But Lana didn't run off and marry somebody else.
Right. Not yet.
She finds out that there was a Fordman baby that Martha hid.
Oh.
And she marries him. Clark's half-brother.
Secret half-brother. Oh, man.
But again, and this Byrne thing, I mean, we did this in Man of Steel too, but I always find it weird where Clark's just like, I mean, I guess he cared about her so much he wanted to tell her why she was leaving, but he tells, he shows Lana all his powers, then it's like kisses her on the forehead, I'm like, bye.
I know. Yeah, hey, I just completely changed your entire existence about religion, humanity.
Let me just.
Are we alone in the universe?
Aliens exist. Yeah, I am an alien. Yeah.
And my feelings towards you.
I'm going to drop.
I completely altered your utter existence, and I'm just going to go. Just keep on milking the cows. Keep on.
Let me drop this. Let me drop this heavy crap on you. Bye.
You have a good life now. Yeah.
It'll be okay.
It's so funny. I love it.
Hey, I'm an alien, and goodbye.
Yeah. See ya.
And again, I think the point as one of the points of these last two issues too, is like them saying, "Oh yeah, she really did care for Clark. It wasn't Manhunter programming or whatever." So
yeah, it was genuine affection. Yeah, she actually.
They just do her dirty, man. In these two issues, like this is sad. Like this is like living bridging. Like
yeah.
They just torture her, but keep her alive.
Yeah, because I mean, it's literally from day one. I mean, they're driving her home from the hospital after she's born, and the Manhunters grab her up. Yeah,
yeah. But in issue number 4, this is where I have to address this in issue 4.
Yeah, go for it.
Where she's in Metropolis and she's working, trying to keep up with Clark and trying to spy on Clark for the Manhunters. She's got this little apartment, and all she's got for income is the money from her inheritance from her parents. Mm-hmm. But eventually that runs out. So then she has to start waiting tables and washing dishes and like scrubbing floors and doing all this stuff. And then she starts like getting despondent and picking through trash and almost being homeless. And like, what are they doing to Lana?
I know. Well, they even say, it's like the Manhunters don't, she can't hold a job because the Manhunters just keep coming in, calling her in. So she's, she gets a reputation of being unreliable and stuff.
All right. You're alien crazy people, the Manhunters, right? You're telling me you can't find some way to just like magically give her money?
That's what I'm saying. Like they have sleeper agents all over the planet. Why can't they find a way to give her some cash so that she can spy on Clark with better ease for them?
I mean, they're artificial beings. Maybe they don't realize, or they just don't care. They're like, as long as she's alive, we don't care.
I guess, but she's barely alive. She passes out from like almost starvation and exhaustion.
And again, they have every kid from that generation in Smallville. Basically, I guess if Lana drops dead, they're just going to send another one.
Hey guys, flip that switch and bring up that Pete Ross.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. Next.
They're like, Petey, hey, what's up, Petey? Yeah, we got a job for you, bro.
Yeah.
Although
it's time to spy on Clark Kent.
Okay, my problem is, I know they don't care about Lana and the Manhunters, but after that issue 2 of Superman, when Lex kidnaps her and tortures her, wouldn't the Manhunters become so concerned? It's like, wait a minute, we don't need this human mucking with our thing. It's like we don't need him killing our agent, or what if he discovers that chip in her neck? It's like, we don't need that. I'm surprised the Manhunters didn't pay Lex a visit or something.
Yeah, there's another inconsistency. Yeah,
maybe they did.
They
were like, we'll drop that thread. We'll never do that.
Oh no, how great would that be to feed his paranoia, where the Manhunters pay him a visit and he's like, has to be that damn Superman. These alien robots visit me. Aliens. He's an alien. It must be his robots.
I was right all along.
He does want to conquer the world. See, just fuel his paranoia.
Exactly. Yeah. I wasn't a fan of this issue. I'll admit it. Number 4 was my least favorite because of this depiction of Lana's torture. Like her awful struggles in Metropolis. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous that the Manhunters couldn't find a way to set her up with cash so that she could spy. If she was their number 1 agent, that they'd spent all this time and effort into making their sleeper agent, then why couldn't they have made her life in Metropolis easier? And instead of making the reader watch her go through all this hardship and all this torture. And the panel where she's like crying and kicking her feet and screaming on the bed. It's like, oh my God, is this really necessary? I don't think so.
I'm trying to remember, because I guess we'll get to this in the upcoming issues and stuff of the regular books, but I don't know if Lana's in and out and making just appearances. And I don't know if Byrne was trying to set it up where it's like, oh, she's acting erratic, is it just because she resents Clark for everything, or
is it because of the Manhunters? Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's an alien conspiracy.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I can't get into it. I can't.
And again, the weird thing at the end of 4 that gets me, where they're basically walking and he's basically saying, I think you basically like a sister, and thank you for being my friend. He uses the word
my friend.
And then it seems like he gives her a pretty passionate kiss. It's on the lips. On that last page there, I'm like, that's a really friendly kiss,
That's how they say hello where he's from.
It's Kryptonian.
I don't know if I want to see how they say goodbye.
You don't, Phil. You don't. It's tough. You've heard of hard goodbyes, right?
Long goodbyes.
Wow, that's quite the hearty handshake you have there. Oh my.
I will say that the art in all of these issues was really good.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 of these. I liked the artwork. I just wish that it had a better set of stories to go along with it, unfortunately.
I think we mentioned this last time. I'm just glad they didn't they made these their own miniseries and didn't make us sit through the regular books. Unless, like you said, unless it was like a backups or something.
Yeah. I still feel like that would have worked a lot better than this format. Especially the first 2 issues were padded to hell. They could have edited that right down to a bunch of backups, and maybe 2 or 3 months worth of backups in the back of. Action Comics or Adventures of Superman or something like that. Or in an annual. They could have put some of this stuff in an annual.
Backups in annuals, yeah.
Yeah, just they did not need to make this.
I mean, you're going to have
four-issue miniseries.
I mean, you're going to have at least 3 annuals a year, 2 to 3 annuals a year. Yeah, you can do these in backups. Yeah,
totally. Yeah, they didn't need to make this a 4-issue miniseries. I was expecting this to be about the town of Smallville and about the people that live in it. Yes, Lana Lang. Yes, the Kents. But I was expecting to see some other people too, like
I was
the other
expecting
people.
To see Pete.
Yeah, other people that Clark went to school with.
Like, I don't think even in the regular books, I don't think we even mentioned Pete yet. I mean, eventually we'll get there. Like, oh yeah, he was friends with Clark and Lana, but
has he been mentioned in the
regular books? I don't think so. I think it was just in these. There's an reference.
But yeah, the first 2 issues, like you said, they really drag it out where it's just like, it's like, oh, Jonathan Kent's home from the war. Oh, his, the girl we pined after his whole life is remarried, and he's dying. Yeah, take her off my hands. And then it just, him.
Oh my God,
we're really dragging out the issue with him going, oh, should I? This is weird. Should I?
Oh. Yeah, it's so padded. They could have edited that a lot.
And then the last 2 issues, it's just, the Manhunters just tortured Lana her entire life.
And we have to watch it. We have to watch the torture. Yeah, I'm not into that. Making kids walk around barefoot in the snow. Like, what are you doing to Lana? I don't like it. No.
She's a character that just gets underappreciated.
Well, I mean, again, it's Byrne. I mean, he loves doing this stuff with character history, Justin.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, the Vision was the original android Human Torch? No!
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't!
Or, I have an explanation why Namor acts crazy sometimes. It's because of the oxygen levels in his blood. That's why he gets the bends.
If he stays in the water too long, if he stays out of water too long. God.
That's right.
Or my favorite, or hey, let's just the Vision and Scarlet Witch are married. Let's just tear him apart.
Yeah, they have kids. Oh no, they don't.
Bring him back. Pieces of Mephisto's soul, you say? He loves torturing characters. Yeah. The Byrne method: torture your characters and put the women in skimpy outfits. Yes.
Speaking of that, though, I will on that subject. Though, I just noticed a couple of days ago there was a post on one of the Facebook groups I'm in, and it was a direct quote. As far as I know, it was a direct quote from John Byrne's forum on his website from this past September, in which he listed off 3 of the main things that if he had a time machine, he would go back and tell himself either not to do or do differently. One of the things was the X-Men, the death of Jean Grey. Apparently, Jim Shooter, whoever the editor's idea was at the time, was instead of Jean Grey being killed off, that she would be imprisoned on some type of prison asteroid and just tortured for all of eternity. And John Byrne said, no, I'd much rather kill her off than resign her to that type of fate. So he said that. But he also said that he regretted his time on Superman the most, and that he wished he had such a horrible time on it. He wished that he had never done it, which I thought, yikes, who?
Well, I mean, was there something? I mean, what is like editorial like feedback and stuff? Because it seems like they kind of gave him free reign almost. I mean, they let him change a lot of stuff.
I mean, they let him change a lot of stuff, but like he's referenced so much as like the Byrne Superman, like the pinnacle of so many people's like idea of what Superman and who Superman is.
Yeah.
Like for him to be like, yeah, about that, guys. Yeah, I take it all back.
I hated it.
I mean, it holds a place in my heart because it's like the first, this era is like around the time I first started reading Superman. So
it's harsh.
And again, I mean, it was like he was like he was like the Bendis of his day, where I think it, although it worked better because he kind of brought in new readers because it's like some of the Marvel people who loved his Marvel stuff came over, because I think this is like the only Superman like Charlie ever read was like the Byrne stuff because he loved John Byrne's work, Fantastic Four and stuff. Yeah. I just brought up the article now. It says.
And now the biggie, when Dick Giordano called to offer me Superman, I wish I'd said no. There are some who don't believe this, but it's true. The Superman experience was one of the most unpleasant of my career, and it continues as people at DC continue to find ways to chip away at what little is left of what I did.
Wow.
So
well, I don't know if they chipped away at what he did, but it's kind of like they kind of brought back stuff from the Silver Age. Like, right after Crisis, they depowered so many characters. I think, they basically just boosted his power levels again. And
yeah. I mean, in 30 some odd years, of course, it's going to change.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that the nature of comics we talk about all the time? Is like, you can never keep anything. Nothing stays the same.
Yeah.
Especially after New 52 and stuff. I mean, so much stuff changing.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, what do we throw out the torture of Lana Lang? I'm sorry, Byrne.
Yeah. Sorry, Johnny.
Yeah.
We just decided that
it doesn't work
we
for
didn't
us.
really like.
Yeah.
We didn't like seeing Lana, basically reduced to just getting the meat out of her.
Right. And I mean, that might not have been his decision. That might have been an editorial thing. Like, that might have been like...
Don't stick up for him.
Well,
okay.
I mean, in a certain respect,
he had that big burn power. Okay, he
oh,
that big burn energy.
I mean, it could have been somebody at Torx, like I said, Millennium. I think like every book had to have one sleeper agent in it, so it was probably like, oh, you have to make someone a sleeper agent. Because I remember the ad for like, I think it was it's like, oh, one of these people will betray.
Ben Hubbard.
What?
Ben Hubbard.
Yeah,
Ben Hubbard could have been the sleeper agent.
Yes, exactly.
Pete Ross.
Yeah, there could have been so many other sleeper agents besides Lana. Like his best friend and the girl that he thought about marrying. Like,
it could have gone way worse, because I remember an ad where like, oh, one of these people was going to betray humanity. It was like Lana, Lois, and Perry, and it was like, oh, one of these people was the sleeper agent. So it's like,
right, yeah.
And again, they could have went the Commissioner Gordon route. They could have just made someone, replace someone with a robot 5 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't care that Lana's the sleeper agent, but don't tell me, you mess with her entire life.
Yeah. And replace some people with robots and not other people. Why? That's so stupid.
Well, because I guess, they knew that Kryptonian was coming to Earth, but how can you predict that idol of millions, that crazy Batman?
Batman, my favorite character.
The Dark Knight himself.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Into the Dark Knight, all to do with Batman.
Ray's like, come on, talk about Marvel Snap. Come on. All right. You know what? You know what?
They don't have DC Snap.
Oh, that's true. You know what, boys? I know you'll say no. Let's keep doing it. But after World of Krypton and then this series, should we just skip World of Metropolis and move on to the next thing? Or
no, we have to do it.
Okay.
Well,
we have to see what atrocities it brings us.
It's superhero movie brackets all over again.
I'm curious to see if the third time's the charm with this.
Yeah.
And that, like, we'll actually maybe see something like in Metropolis, like the Guardian, or like, I don't know, something about the people that work at the Daily Planet besides Lois.
Watch it'll be like the best one out of all. I'm like, oh, this is what it should have been the whole time.
Maybe.
Like I said, I think
Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I saw there is a cover with Jimmy. I know that the one I've actually read is Clark. So, you know what? I bet it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be somewhat like in the past. It's probably going to be like a early days of like Lex or Perry or something. I think those two. Well, I know those two kind of have a history together. Yeah, and then it's probably going to jump ahead a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see, I guess. But yeah, we should do it just to see what it's. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will.
We're this far in, Phil.
Yeah, and again, if it's the theme, again, there's 3 episodes this month, so yeah, it'll fit the theme.
Yeah. We'll do it. And it might turn out to be good. Who knows? It might surprise us.
Well, that's why I said to Tyler last time. Next week, after when we do World of Metropolis, let's rank them.
Yeah,
good point. Yeah. Let's do that.
All right. So anything else, boys?
No. I'm glad we're moving on from this one. Yeah.
Again, and again, it's kind of seeing the same formula as last time, just the first 2, the last 2.
I think I liked World of Krypton better, though. I think
this
one,
I'm with him. World of Krypton was better because the last 2 issues
Yeah, that torture of Lana Lang and the whole dry as toast, dragged out crap between the Kents and the. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in World of Krypton, we kind of end on hope because it's like, oh, we're sending our son, to a better life. We kind of end on, oh, Lana got over her lifelong torture.
Yeah, but Clark still flies away and was like, thanks for. She's been permanently friend zoned by Superman.
I know. It's like when he first tells her about his powers, he kisses her on the forehead. This time he's like, oh, thank you for being a friend. And then French kisses her and takes off. It's like, what the hell?
He gives her an actual bona fide Superman kiss with super speed and everything while he's changing into his costume.
I was waiting.
And then just flies off.
He gave her quite the kiss at the end there. I was waiting for her to forget everything. Can you imagine he laid that big kiss on her so she forgets all about the Manhunters and stuff? I think I heard Tyler there.
I'm just like, yeah. He's like, I'm just thinking like he's like, you've been tortured so much. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna fly around the earth.
Let me fix it for you.
I'll turn back time and fix it.
And she's like, what? He's like, no, I got this.
I'm going to turn back time so you don't die and Lex Luthor doesn't destroy New Jersey.
She's like, what? He's like, don't worry, I got this.
All right. Are we done?
Yes, I think so.
All right. Someone kissed me, so I forget this one. All right, anyway. Like I said, next time we're going to cover World of Metropolis, and he keeps threatening to be here, and he keeps life keeps happening, but we may have Connor McKenna next time. So
nice.
We may have James.
It might be a full house next time.
That would be awesome.
Oh yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be a lot of manliness in one area.
Oh yeah, the Electric Mullet sausage party. Yes. All right, and then so then you'll get your 2 weeks of Nightwing news, and then because these are the November episodes, so then we'll get to the 2 December episodes where we'll cover Action Comics 590, Adventures of Superman 429 and 430, and Superman 7, and then the last Electric Mullet of the year, we're going to cover Future Shock, which it'll cross over because we'll do 2 Legion of Superhero issues and Superman 8 and Action Comics 591, where they try to explain, oh hey, the Legion still knows Superboy, but wait a minute, there is no Superboy doesn't exist. How is this possible? Yeah, so
it's just the nature of comics of people changing things, and other people are like, no, I don't like that. I want to change it back.
Yeah.
When John Byrne screwed the Legion writers, they're like, wait a minute. This whole thing was built on Superboy. Wait a minute. You just retroactively changed. There was no Superboy? What?
It was all a figment of their imagination.
Oh, if only it was that easy, Justin.
If only.
If only it was that simple. All right, kids. So
it was an LMD.
It was Mephisto. All right, kids. So send us all your thoughts on those. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sayla.
Somebody should be in bed.
She's like, yeah, you, Dad. She's like, yeah, you old man.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise, the Patreon, where you can find Little Hellfire's Junk and Rants. You can find her and I's most recent episode where we review, we rank the Scream Queens for October episode, and of course the Mystery Men review of the 1999 movie with me and Tyler is up there still. So
excellent.
God gave me a gift, Phil.
What?
I shuffle well. God.
Well, it's better than the Spleen's gift. All right, so find everything all in one place. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. And once again, we will start with the guy with the with the less amount of plugs, Mr. Tyler Patrick. If people want to talk more Superman with you, where can they hear you?
Talk more Superman. Look at Krypton Report everywhere in social media. We've kind of been slower this month than usual. Just my job and everything's just really taking its toll on just time. You can also find me. I've started over on the look for the Fanfare podcast as part of the. I will excuse me. I will throw in my requel pitches. You can catch me pitching movie ideas over there. So check that out.
All right, now the Owl King of podcasting, Mr. Justin the Owl. You can hear, of course, you can hear him on Electric Mullet twice a month. Well, 3 times this month. You can hear him once a month on We Are the Night, the Batman podcast.
Batman podcast.
At the end of every month as we talk Jean Paul Valley, because a little too good for it. And of course, you can hear him every week over on Capes and Lunatics, as him and I do Marvel Tales, where we cover something different Marvel every time. So for October, we did Ghost Rider, Hellstorm, 2 weeks of Man-Thing.
2 weeks of giant-sized Man-Thing.
Yeah, so am I. And of course, once a month now, only 1 episode out so far, so it's time to catch up. Me, him, and that hillbilly Russell, or doing the Energon Universe podcast, where we cover the new Transformers and G.I. Joe and everything, that whole universe coming out of Image Comics, so check that out. And there's more Justin. So Justin, where can you find more Justin?
In addition to all those shows, you can also find me on Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, with my pal Russell. Twice a month, we talk about the Hulk and She-Hulk. And also on Predator and Prey, Russell and I are joined by our pals Ray and Sparky. And we talk about Fox's Predator and everything to do with comic books, movies, action figures, and more. And lastly, actually, there's 2 more. We just started up Gone the Form of Man, the Etrigan podcast. Russell and I going back and covering DC's Demon, the Jack Kirby classic series from 1973. We're going to cover all of that series. And last but not least, The Lost Library of Legends should have a new episode out by the time this airs. Actually, there might be 2 more out by that time, possibly. Scream it!
You ended abruptly there. I thought he had more. I was like, oh my.
I was holding back a cough.
Oh, okay.
Tapping my way downtown. Well, that escalated quickly.
Okay. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. Oh yeah, and that Predator podcast. Hey, 2024, Ray. I want to do some crossover, that Predator and Batman stuff. Come on.
I think there was a Predator and Superman one too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but we know Ray loves the Batman.
His favorite.
All right, kids. Hopefully next week the World of Metropolis will be a little better. Well, hopefully not such a downer anyway.
Let's hope so.
Hopefully not abject terror, torture. I see a light in the distance. She has a flashlight. All right, kids. Come back next time for more truth, justice, and the mullet way.